Welcome to the main event. In this corner, we have the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, undefeated with millions of knockouts. We have Father Time. But in the other corner, we have an up and coming challenger with tremendous heart and grit, determination, and the knowledge, the know-how. We have an active senior. Hello, guys. And yes, if you are an active senior and watching this, you know about this challenge, right? I made light of it here, but it is really the ultimate challenge. Because, of course, let's face it, Father Time is undefeated, right? Eventually, inevitably, we're all going to come to a point where we're going to start to decline. Now, there's many people on the internet now I see that are disputing this, but until I actually see it, I'm not going to buy it quite yet. But what about if we could start to slow Father Time down? And what about if we could win? What about if there's a manner in which we could win against Father Time? Let me explain. Now, on average, we're living to about 83, our early mid 80s, 83, 84, men a little more so than women. But unfortunately, we start to lose quality of life far before we ever get to those last years. And they're actually measuring this. It's called the HLE, the Healthy Life Expectancy. The World Health Organization actually measures this metric country by country. And what they have found is, on average, that we start to lose quality of life far before that last year of life, even 10 to 12 years on average. So let's say this is 83. On average, we start to decline. We start to lose quality of life in our early 70s. That was very surprising to me. That's a long time. 10 to 12 years, we're on a steady decline, losing our passions, losing our enjoyments of life. But as I stated earlier, we have the potential, we have the capability to extend our quality of life, to even have quality of life potentially up until that last year. And if we are able to do that, then in my book, that is a win. That is a win for us against Father Time. If we can extend our quality of life, if we can get up to that last year or two and enjoy all of our passions, then by all means, that's a win for us. So how can we do this? Before we get to that, before I get to that, I just want you to take a minute just to get an idea where your HLE is currently. And a good example is this. I spoke to a gentleman the other day, really nice guy. His life his passion in life, what he loved to do was garden. He loved his yard, even pulling weeds. He'd be out there for 6-7 hours a day. That was his life, a huge part of his life. Now, unfortunately, he tripped, he fell in his yard, and he told me the other day, that's it, no more gardening. I'm going inside. I'll do something else. Now, that's a strong indication that his life would start to be on a decline, because that, again, was such a large part of his quality of life that he's no longer going to partake in anymore. He's going inside. He's going to be less active. It's going to affect him in so many different ways. So for yourself, are there activities that you thoroughly enjoyed a year or two ago that you're no longer doing? That would be a strong indicator that you're starting to lose some quality there. Even, so many different variables. Your sleep. Are you sleeping poorly? Are you losing your appetite? Are you losing weight and you're not intending to? Are you cognitively? Are you becoming more forgetful? Are you less focused? Emotionally, are you more depressed? Do you have more stress, anxiety? These are all factors, variables that are stealing bits and pieces of our quality of life. And we're starting on that steady decline far before our last years of life. So just yourself, be very cognizant. Everyday activities. Are you avoiding stairs? Are you no longer taking your dog for a walk? These are all, again, signs that we're starting to plummet. So just take a minute or two and do a little self-analysis. See where you are. Get a baseline for yourself. And no matter where you are, if you are on a decline, if you're on the fringe, if we want to prevent it, now what can we do? What would affect, what would impact our cognitive state, our emotional state, our physical state, our sleep, our appetite, our attitude, our disposition? What would affect all that? You know where I'm going, guys. It's exercise. I mean, the research is just overwhelming now that exercise has that type of impact. It can reach into all those different areas, and it has the strongest impact on it. Not only that, but it's accessible to all of us, right? It's that low-hanging fruit we can all grab. We can all exercise relative to our fitness level. There's not a financial burden. There's just a small time investment. You can do it in your bedroom. It's there for us. It's right there for us. We can all do it. So in all those aspects, yes, it all points to exercise, and a certain type of exercise. To be more specific, exercise is where you have to produce power. Power-based exercises are the most productive in terms of how our quality of life is going to turn out, because as active seniors, we are losing our ability to produce power very, very rapidly, and power is our lifeline. So yes, as active seniors, if we want to shrink those years, if we want to extend the quality of our life, then we have to start doing power-based exercise. Look at the extremes of power-based exercise, like sprinting. I mean, when you sprint, what does that entail? You have to be strong. You have to have mobility. You have to have stability. You have to have balance. And of course, you're producing power. So power-based exercises are all encompassing. That is why they're so effective as an active senior who, again, want to extend our quality of life. So what can you start doing? Well, let me give you one right now. Let me give you an exercise. If you do not have any medical contraindications, if you're not in pain, you can start doing this today. Let me give you an example here. Now, there's a way to progress this too. So if you cannot do this right off the bat, that's okay. There's a progression to this too, but you can just stand on one foot, right? So here's some balance, right? Now I'm gonna lower, I'm gonna use some mobility in my hips and knees. I'm gonna have to be stable to do this. I'm gonna touch the floor. Mobility, strength, stability, balance. Now I'm gonna jump and try to land on one foot. Power, right? So again, I'm gonna bend, touch the floor, one foot, come up, hop, and try to stick my landing. Very challenging, no doubt about it. But that's, again, my point. That's why power-based exercises are so effective for active seniors, because they contain all those attributes to fitness: strength, mobility, stability, balance, and be able to produce power. It's all right there. Now, if you cannot do that, that was challenging, yes. But imagine if you can build up and be able to do that. If you did 10 repetitions of that every day on each leg, that would be a strong indication, going back to our HLE, that your quality of life is here. If you cannot do it, it'd be an indication that you may be losing quality of life. As I said, if you can't do that right off the bat, I understand. It's very challenging for me, and I've been doing this a long time. But you can start by breaking it up, just standing on one foot. You can break it up into segments, right? You can just start by standing on one foot, right? Getting the balance component down, right? And then we can start with the mobility. You can hold on to a counter if you need to and start working on your mobility with it, right? You can hold on with one hand, so you start to work on more stability and balance, right? You can get to the point where you touch the floor and come up. So there's a progression. You can break these exercises up, this exercise in particular, into segments until you can get to that point where you're able to do it. That's my message, guys. It's all about power-based exercises. If you want to increase that HLE, if you want to extend the quality years of your life, you have to start working on power-based exercises. Hope that's helpful, guys. We have that capability. We can start fighting back against Father Time, and this is the perfect manner in which to do it. Thanks so much for watching. Please keep the questions. I love the emails. Thank you so much. I learned so much from you guys. Thank you so much for that. Keep them coming, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.